Hi, my name's Mandy and welcome to my YouTube channel, What Mandy Made Next. Today is Thursday, the 28th of March 2024. We're going to start with the old cross stitch. So this is by the Scarlett house. It's called Sweet Tomatoes. And I stitched this on a 32 count Belfast linen. And I used threads from a stash, which is nothing more satisfying, is there? So I've framed it and it's all ready. I will take a photograph of this because of the reflection you're getting off the glass. But I bought this frame from a charity shop. So I think it cost about £3. And if I turn it round, I'll just show you the back. I tend to have a lot of craft papers, so what I'll do is I'll use a board. I think it's one of those acid free ones you can get, and then I'll lace. What I use for lacing is this Mercer-sized cotton. You use it for crochet, see? I don't know what weight this is. But anyhow, it's quite a strong cotton, and that's what I use for lacing. I lace vertically and horizontally, and then this, like I say, is a frame from a charity shop. And then on the back, what I'll do is I'll stick some craft paper. It just finishes it off, I think. I've got to make a little pocket yet. Out of card, and in that pocket I'll put the information in, you see, about the count of the linen, who the pattern's by and when I stitched it, that sort of information. So when it's handed down through the generations, they'll have that information, you see. So yeah, I love this frame as well. I think it's sets it off perfect. So my next finish is this pattern. It's by Jardin prive. It's called Quaker de la ferme. I think it means farmer. I can speak French, but my pronunciation's rubbish. So that's the pattern and all the information you need. I think I bought this from Patchwork Rabbit, if I remember rightly. And I've stitched this. I had some Ada. I think this is a 16 count, I think. But here we go. It's all framed and all ready. Now you may spot the obvious mistake. If you can't see it, I'll point it out. It's there. So what happened is I've stitched this, and it's obviously I've stitched it in the hoop, and there wasn't enough room to stitch that bit, so I've gone on stitching down below and then forgot to take my hoop back to here. So there's some stitches missing, but what I will do, because if I look at the back of this frame, I just need to pull these out and I can just stitch them. There's only a few stitches I need to put in. It's already laced obviously, but I can still get the stitches and I'll be able to do it. So what a rookie mistake. Didn't notice it until it was hanging on the wall, and I said to Dave, I said, oh, spot the obvious mistake, which he did. Now I did start this in 2023, and I was watching Susie. Hi Susie, if you're watching, I hope you are. Susie, from her channel, is called Susie Stitcher. It's a must watch. I must admit, I love watching Susie. So she'd mentioned on one of her vlogs that when you're stitching dates, it's best to leave it to last, because you know, you could start stitching it in 1 year and pull it down and then finish it 2 years later, say. So that's what she always does. And when it come to stitching the dating, at the time it was 2023, but as you can see, I didn't finish this piece till, I think it was a couple of months ago. So actually I finished this piece in 2024, so that's when I've put the date in for. So it's a good job I was listening to her. So again, this is from a charity shop. I think I've paid about £3 for the frame. So yeah, really pleased with my little bargains there. I have stitched this in DMC. If I was to stitch again in just the sole colour, I think I would use something like an over-dyed thread, because you get the variation then, and I think that would make it look more interesting. I've stitched this in DMC. Let me have a look at the colour I used. It was 815, a dark red, so that's what I used. These are great for taking on holiday as well, because you've only got one thread to contend with. So those are 2 finishes, so I'm really pleased. And then I've got 2 works in progress. So my next piece is the mini sea beacon. So this is where I got to last time I vlogged about this particular piece. The artwork is by Jasmine Beckett Griffiths, and it's charted by Michelle Sayeta for Heaven and Earth Designs. It's full coverage, as you can see, and I'm stitching this on an 18 count. It's already graded for ease, AIDA. I'm going to compare the 2 pieces side by side, and then I'll show you a little bit more detail. So usually what I do is I'll take a 3 by 3 patch, and I'll stitch that at a time. So I've only got to stitch now 3.5 squares across, and that'll be the edge, and then I just need to stitch down when I finish that little bit at the bottom. So yeah, I'm loving these colours. I love the way the waves are crashing up a dress. There's a lot of detail in these pieces, because some squares can have quite a few different colours in, so you can be working with maybe at least 20 different colour threads. You might only, in a whole square of 100, use one thread once for one stitch, but that's what gives it this lovely definition, you see. So yeah, I've gone from using one thread to all these. But what I tend to do is in the morning on waking, I'll have a cup of coffee and I'll stitch just one square. So I try and do 1 square a day on that, and that's my morning stitch. So the next piece I need to show you is this one. It's a piece of artwork by Darryl Bush, and it's called Twilight Calm. So this is from the Gold Collection by Dimensions, and it's 14 count ivory cotton Ada. So I'll show you how I've got on with that. I love this. I just think it's absolutely glorious, and I can't wait to frame it. So here we go. Fabulous, love it. Now, although all the cross stitches are in, what is missing now is the back stitch. So if I bring the picture up a bit closer, you might see. I'll show you on here as well. If I stand up and bring it a bit closer. Round the rocks, I've already outlined them with the black cotton, and I've also done the 2 chairs. Now, instead of back stitching, I've used couching, so I laid the black thread across where I want it to go, and then I'll just put little stitches in to anchor that thread in place. But I'd say I'm a quarter way through. Now I bought this, I think it was about 10 years ago. I bought it from either Joann's or Michael's, I think. It was when I was on holiday in Florida and I'd run out of knitting, and so there was a mercy dash to I'm sure it was Joann's, and I purchased this kit. And I'm on the Dimensions Facebook group, and also I've looked at other YouTube channels. I like to watch Calico Whimsy and Luda as well, and because they stitch all Dimensions kits, and I've never seen yet this one, so I think this one must be out of print. But the threads are usually, they come on these cards, and I had 2 lots of these plus skeins, and what I did is I cut them and I bobbinated them. I just find that easier for me. Now, someone said that the threads they use for the Dimension kits, they are thicker, and I find that they give really good coverage. So yeah, I've been thoroughly enjoying stitching this. So I think what I would do next time is I would definitely couch as I go, if you know what I mean, because doing it afterwards is yeah takes quite a bit of patience, and you know, you do get fatigued very easily. I do anyhow, trying to work out where the couching should go. But hopefully in a couple of weeks time I'll have this ready for framing, and hopefully I've got a frame for it. Now, the next piece of stitching was again initiated by Susie from Susie Stitcher, her YouTube channel, and she started a stitch along which started January 2024. It's not too late to join. Initially it was for this piece here, and this is A Year at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. So I said I'd join in the stitch along, and I think, is it Carol? I'm sure Carol's doing it as well. There's 3 of us at the moment signed up to it, and Susie has also put a hashtag out onto Instagram, and I'll put all the details in down below so you can look at our progress as we go through this stitch along. But also other people are joining in. She's broadened the stitch along to include any cross stitch piece that you particularly wanted to work on through this year. So, but I wanted to go and do this one with her. I purchased the threads for this from Hobby Lobby whilst I was on holiday in Florida, because the threads for DMC over there in America are far cheaper. I'd say they're 1/3 of the price for the thread, and I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure DMC is manufactured in France, which is just across the water from the UK, but for some reason it's, whether they got a factory in the States, I don't know, but it's far cheaper. So, but then again, the States do produce cotton, don't they? So whether they have an agreement, I don't know. But it's, all I know, it's a lot cheaper. So I purchased all my threads whilst I was over there. I did have problem accessing this particular pattern, and I think it was about February I managed to get this pattern from Peakside Crafts, and they've still got this pattern in stock. So there we go. And I'm currently working on the January section. So I bought my fabric, which is an 18 count. I'm using the same fabric as Susie. I think it's Vintage Country. Well, I say mocha, some people say mocha, but I don't think it's going to show up much. But there is like sort of different shades on this fabric, like gradients. So, but they are big pieces, you see, to stitch, and so I went for an 18 count, thinking, well, actually, you know, it'll make the piece smaller. Susie's stitching hers on 14, and then I did consider linen, but I thought it's such a big piece, and you know, I've already gone wrong twice on it and had to unpick it. But this is where I've left it in the hoop because I'll be working on this tonight. So this is the January one. So yeah, I'm hoping next time I show this piece to you, I'll be perhaps finished this square off and we'll start in the February, hopefully. But you know, there's no rush, like she says, you know, you just stitch when you can. So the next thing I want to show you are these little mini projects. I usually work on these on a Monday, and this one here, it's like a door. You can either hang it on your door or you can hang them on your drawers. That doesn't sound good, does it? But you know what I mean, your chest of drawers. They look quite pretty. So this is the one for February. As you can see, it's got a heart. I've got a little heart missing there. I've got to sew it on. But it's all backed. And I've used a blanket stitch around the edge. I used a pearl cotton. And I also used one strand of DMC thread as well, just to give it a little bit of zhuzh. There we go. It's all in this wool felt, and I've got another kit here. This is for April. I'll show you the kit. So it's a subscription, and I purchased this through Liberty Bell. I'll put the details down below for you. Sorry for that bit of crinkling there. And it's called Sweet and Simple Through the Year. So if you go on the Liberty Bell website, if you're interested, you can go on, not workshops, I think it's Wool Camp, you click, and that takes you through to the information. But every month you received a Sweet and Simple kit, and it's by Buttermilk Basin. So will be the one for April. So what you get in your kit is your heat and bond, because you need that for sticking your applique shapes to your piece. And then you get all your wool, what you'll need. You don't get the embroidery floss. Doesn't that look lovely? So you get like wool or flannel, it'll be. And you I don't think this has got any but oh, it has. Oh, flick it there, you get like your button and your ribbon, what you need, and like I say, your heat and bond. So then you can use, it's a great stash buster for your embroidery floss. So that'll be for the April one. So yeah, I need to do my March one as well actually, to keep up. But this is for February. Yeah, I've enjoyed stitching that. What I've done is I make these project bags. This is a beautiful Tilda fabric, and the pattern I purchased from Tiger Lily Designs. So again, I'll pop a link in, and she's got this Etsy shop, you see, and once you've purchased the pattern, you also get access to a private video where she actually shows you how to put the project bag together. But what I've done is I've modified it. So on this side I've got the pockets for the floss and stuff. But this side I just modified it by making one big pocket. And so what I do is, whilst I'm up in my craft room, I will cut out all the shapes I need, okay, and I'll bond them to the fabrics, get it all ready, and then I slip it into this compartment here, and then I can take it downstairs, my project, and I can stitch downstairs whilst watching, you know, a programme or something. So yeah, that's what I like to do. So that's that one made. Okay, on to knitting now. So I've got a finished object to share with you. It's the snowflake jumper. Now in my last vlog, I'm pretty sure I showed you one I'd already made for one of my granddaughters, and it was in this King Cole sparkly blue wool. And now I've knit a younger sister, okay, one in this King Cole grey. It's like a grey sparkle. Sorry, this isn't King Cole, it's Robin. This is the King Cole, if I remember rightly. But this is definitely Robin. But it's not showing up at all, the sparkle isn't, sadly. Looks a bit uneven, but yeah. I'll show you in more detail. I'll take a photograph, and usually the sparkles show. And I've put these lovely little, like a bluey grey button on. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Now on my other granddaughter's one, I did make a mistake. I used rib instead of the moss stitch. So, ooh, I wonder what that was then. Someone got ladders outside. Right, so that's the moss stitch. So it's all the way round the neck and then the closure there. And then at the bottom of the cuffs, we've got this moss stitch. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So you knit these on smaller needles, the snowflake pattern, and I was knitting top down, and oh my gosh, I had to write everything out. I find with indie, I'm old fashioned, because you know, in my day when you had a lace pattern, you know, say like you had a Peter Pan pattern, it'd say row 1 and it'll say knit 2 together, yarn over, you know, yarn over needle, knit 3. It'd give you that instruction for that row, and then row 2 would be purl, and then you'd have the instruction for row 3 because you're knitting flat. What I find with indie designers, they'll say, you know, you knit this and then repeat, and whereas with an old-fashioned pattern, to me the instructions were clearer. So I did get a little bit bamboozled, but I fathomed it out because you're knitting all this in one, you see, the front, the sleeves and the back. But I've managed it and I love it. So I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. Right, that can go now to its new home. So in this project bag, I've got my partner's pair of socks. You might recall I'd showed you these on my last vlog. So what I'd done is I'd altered my sock recipe. I knit these toe up. It's in the West Yorkshire Spinners and it's in the Bullfinch colourway. Do apologise if it's gone a little bit dark, but I'm going to carry on. It's showing the colours up true anyhow. And it's a Fleagle heel I've incorporated. It's just a plain vanilla sock pattern. I have knit the Afterthought heel before, but he likes the Fleagle one, so that's what I've done. So I'll show you the wool quickly. This is just a Regia 4-ply in a charcoal colourway, and then this is the West Yorkshire Spinners bullfinch. And like I say, I've changed the sock recipe. I've made this a little bit bigger for him, so it's a little bit more slouchy. And I've forgotten how many stitches I'd cast on until I come to write my information in my notebook, and I found what I'd written, so I thought, thank goodness for that. I can get the other one done now. I was crocheting the Yuletide blanket, you may recall, and that was a free pattern from Attic 24, and that was for my daughter. Well, anyhow, it's gone to its new home. If I can, if she'll do it for me, I'll send a photograph. But yeah, I couldn't wait any longer, and I just got it sent off to her. But I am going to start the June blanket next. Again, it's another free Attic by Attic 24. Another free Attic, another free pattern. Goodness gracious me, I don't know what's going on. Right, yes, I've got some more knitting to show you. I have started for my grandson, and it's called the Abate Bulky Jumper. And it's by Alicia Plummer. The pattern I purchased off Ravelry, but I think she's got a website called Two Little Plums. So I'll show you the wool first. I'm knitting it in. I got it in a sale from Holly's Haberdashery. It's called Bergère de France Parisian 7, and it's an acrylic wool in the colourway Diablo. So this is knit top down. It's on 8mm needles, so I no need to tell you that's flying. And I'll turn it round because that's the front. So you knit it top down, raglan. Oh, that is dark now, isn't it? Let me think. If I bring it back a bit, you can see. But we'll pop a photograph in as well, so you can see it close up. So I have now divided off for the sleeves. Those are on waist yarn, and I'm just knitting down now the body. I'll knit this a little bit longer than what it suggests, because my two grandsons, they are rather long in the arms and the trunk, so I'll just add on an inch, I think. So this is living in this project bag here. I made this quite a while ago, so yeah. Oh, left my little keeps out. So this was made by Davina. She sent me that, isn't it lovely? And I keep all my stitch markers in there. And then I've also got this, which has got tape measure in and things like that. And there we go. Hopefully I'll have quite a bit of progress to show you next time I speak to you. So that's my knitting and crochet. I'm just going to have a check on my book and a quick drink of my coffee. The next thing I want to show you is another subscription. She's lost a little crown at the moment, had a little green crown. But this was a subscription from Liberty Bell. So basically you get the kit for Make the Doll, and then you get you sign up as well for the 4 aprons, which are seasonal. So this is the spring one, so I've made this. And again, I use that project bag, you know, I showed you. I just cut out all my shapes, stick them on my piece I need, and then I've got my apron ready for stitch downstairs. So I hand applique all this with a blanket stitch. So yeah, this is the spring apron. And I think, oh, there's a little shepherdess, look, with a sheep. And so I know Susie, she saw these angels and she liked them, so she's also got the kits for this, and she calls hers Florrie. I haven't named mine yet, but yeah, I just love So then I decided I'll kit up the one, because you can also purchase optional extra aprons. So she does a Halloween one, one for Easter and one for Christmas. And I had already done the Christmas one and the Halloween, and then I thought, you know, I'll cut out the kit, get it all prepared for the Easter apron, and then I just couldn't stop. So this is my Easter apron. So I have actually this time put a little bit of footage in, just showing you how I've made this, and also how I gather, you see. Just a little tip I use for gathering when whether I'm dressmaking or making, you know, little things like this. I still use the same gathering method. So I'll pop this information in for you now, this little clip, and you can watch it if you want to. So this is my Easter apron, and I've used I think it's the blanket stitch facility on my machine for the majority of the applique. Okay, so I'm now going to put my stitch length to number 5, which is the highest for the gathering of the top of the apron. So I do 2 rows of sewing, as you can see, and then I anchor the first stitch in with a back stitch, and that means when I pull on the threads, they're not all going to come out, you see. And if you put 2 rows in, there's 2 reasons for that. One is that if one snapped, it doesn't matter, I've got another gathering thread to fall back on. But also I like to stitch in between the 2 rows of stitching, you see, and that will keep your gather neat. So once I'm happy with my gathers, I've just got the apron string or tie, and I'm going to insert the apron, the top of the apron, into the tie, as you can see, and that will keep it all neat. And then after I've sewn the apron to the tie, I will then remove any gathering stitches that you can see. But like I say, if you do 2 rows, you know, the likelihood is here now I'm going to sew, and my stitch will land in between the 2 rows of gathering, so it keeps it all neat. So actually, because Easter is coming up, I might swap them over now actually. So I think I'll swap this over on Good Friday and put her Easter apron on. But those are the two aprons now made, so I'm really pleased. Yeah, I cut everything out and I stuck it on the fabric, and then I just thought, oh, I'll carry on. And then before I knew it, I machined appliqued all this on, and you know, I thought I may as well finish it. I've already got my summer one done, so in summer I'll start make the April and the winter one, and I think that's it for all the aprons will be finished. So the other thing I am making with my granddaughter is this. It's called Freya and Friends Doll's House. And I'm making this with my granddaughter. I'll show you a photograph. And it's by Janet Clare, and I saw this again on Susie's Stitches channel and thought, you know, that looks good fun to make. Nice little project. So we've made a couple of the characters. Now it does say to blanket stitch round, but they were looking untidy, so I've just sewn round and then turned them inside out. But yeah, she loves them. And I've got everything pinned on ready. I've put it in this box to keep it tidy, but I'll show you some of the house we're making. When it's finished, I'll do some footage. I mean, there's a little pocket there, that's the garden fence, so yeah. And then you get your doll and you can move her around the house and what have you. So yeah, good fun. Oh, and she loves it. She sits by, because I always let her have a go on the machine as well. But she's been stitched there and she's talking to the dolls, going, now you're ready. And see that one, I've just got stitch at the bottom. So yeah, that's the Freya and Friends Doll's House. And I've just popped it in this box for safekeeping. But my next kit is actually this one. And it's a bunny rabbit, and it's from Liberty Bell. I'll pop a picture in so you can see it close up. And she's called Mrs. Cottontail. Now you may have seen Mrs. Cottontail in my craft room, because I made her up last year. This is Mrs. Cottontail. She's got pipe cleaners and rears, haven't you? So you can make them how you want. She's got a dress on. She's quite a long doll. But she has an apron, which I'm just in the middle of making. I'm hopeful that this will be finished for Easter. It doesn't matter because she'll still be up for spring. But basically she has this apron with 3 sections in, so I've got to just apply it to the apron now and gather it. But I've sewn the baby rabbits. I've just got to put the faces on and stuff them, but they'll go into each pocket, you see, into each section, and then she'll wear those round her apron. So I thought that was a really cute idea. So again, this is on the Liberty Bell website, and it's not on workshops, it'll be on kits. It's if you go on the online shopping bit, it's in the kits. But I'll pop a link in which should take you straight through to that particular section of the website. So hopefully, Mrs. Cottontail, you'll get finished this week. Now we can proudly display you, can't we? I just thought I'd show you quickly as well my vase of flowers. This was a Mother's Day present from my 2 younger granddaughters. So what the mum's done is got a vase and they've decoupaged onto the vase. Isn't it pretty? Onto the bottle, yeah. So I thought it was lovely. Yeah, I thought I would show you that. Right, I don't think there's anything else I can share with you at the moment. So what I'm hopeful for is next week is to go through my plans for the month and to show you my Whip Go projects. So I'm hoping to do Whip Go this year. And I've got all my kits, what I'm going to be using, kitted up in my project bags. What else? Oh, some acquisitions, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So I'm looking forward to vlogging to you next week. So of course Easter would have gone by then, so if you do celebrate Easter, happy Easter, and I hope you enjoyed the time with your families. And yeah, I'm going to my daughter's for dinner on Easter Sunday, so that'll be nice. And yeah, can't think of anything else to say, but happy crafting, and I'll see you next week. Bye.